Next is from Sangana Chanko. Subject is this or that. Good day, K100 crew. Wishing you all the best for this festive season. Great health for Conan. For Disco to finally win some bets, and for JoJo, I hope he gets the biggest lump of coal ever. What do you think about that, Joe? Yeah. I was actually busted open this morning. Tommy Dreamer saying that CM Punk should win the Rumble.
I think it's a dirty cheap shot and completely unnecessary. But
so that he can go on to face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Claims that Punk versus Roman is a bigger, better story than Cody versus Roman, especially because of the Paul Heyman factor. I think Punk versus Roman is a huge match on the line, but I don't think it's currently a better story than the one with Cody. However, I'm not a booker, I've never been a wrestler, so which scenario is better? Seth versus Punk Mania Night 1, Cody versus Roman Mania Night 2, or Punk versus Roman Mania Night 2 and delay the Cody match for later? I don't know, man. Randy Orton's in the mix too here. It looks like him and Roman at the Rumble. Roman has not been on TV lately.
I think it'll be interesting this week.
Don't know if he's okay. Well, Punk is on SmackDown. I would like to see a Roman versus Punk.
Punk's on SmackDown.
Punk's on SmackDown this week. I think they should throw.
This week, yeah.
I think they should throw everything out there right now. All your potential angles.
100%.
You got Seth and Punk. You got Randy and Roman. Punk and Roman, and Cody and Roman, right? I think we should dabble into all of those and see how the crowd reacts, and let them tell the story of where we go.
Let's throw LA Knight in there and see how he does.
Well, LA Knight.
He's still getting huge pops.
I know. That's why I said let's throw him in there, see the reaction.
There's going to be a question about that, but the one rumor I heard was LA Knight might get Logan Paul at WrestleMania now.
That's fine for him because Logan, that's still a huge
match.
That is
fine.
Yeah. Right. Well, you'll see. The question comes up. All right.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, but that is bro, they're in a great spot right now. They got a bunch of hot. There was a bunch of questions of people wondering where they're going, and they should tease every road that they could go down, and see how the people react. Well, how easy is this to book,
And when CM Punk when we were talking about if CM Punk was going there, I said it's too tempting not to take him. It's almost like the Yankees or the Dodgers not going after Ohtani. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, just imagine a Punk, promo in-ring promo on SmackDown. Paul Heyman interrupts. They have a thing, and it's starting to get heated, and then Roman's music hits. Right. And then we have a Roman Punk verbal confrontation. Bro, how great would that? How
great,
big would that?
Of course.
Yeah. It's just be like, I trust the fans. Right now, their house show, their TV audiences should be huge because everybody's wondering what they're going to do right now. They have all their big stars back. You got Punk and Randy. So I mean, they're in a great spot. Yep.
I mean, and remember, if Rock comes in for something, if Austin comes in, you know what I mean.
Right, 100%. Let me see here. Okay, we already went over that one. Next one is from. This is interesting. Sky Flame, subject is Lost Legends. Conan wants you to shoot an interview and said the Thunderbird and Cardinal. Sorry to spell it phonetically. Cardinal were better than Rey Mysterio Jr. and Psychosis. What happened to them, and what tier of wrestlers would you put them in? What puts them above Rey and Psycho? And somebody has a YouTube clip here of you saying this. Do you want to hear the YouTube clip? Conan, are you debating that you said the Thunderbird? No. All right, go ahead. Explain.
Well, Ray will say it too. Thunderbird and Cardinal were right.
Right.
Which means cardinal, right? Like the bird.
Of course, yeah. But the way the guy spells this and I read it is like card-now.
Yeah.
Right. So it says, you're putting this up, Joe. It says Conan shoot interview. This is like a 2-hour interview. I
have the exact time.
The 3:37.
Let's hear what I said.
All right, let's play it.
Funny part. There were also guys, and I want to say their name. Anybody has ever been to TJ or that can get any of the tapes of the stuff I promoted. If you watch Thunderbird and Cardinal those guys were actually, believe it or not, 3 times better than Rey and Psychosis. And I think they got a lot of their stuff from like Thunderbird, Cardinal. There's one more guy. There's some guys that slipped my mind, but we had some really young, incredibly creative guys that just never got a break and just ended up getting hurt. And Rey and Psycho got his break. John Roberts is basically the guy that I met that saw me in the park.
So basically, Cardenal and Thunderbird were with Super Astro were like the first high flyers me and Rey really saw, and Psychosis, and they were very influenced by them. So I brought Thunderbird to AAA, but he just got nervous and he didn't make it, and Rey did. But he was like the original high flyer that Rey used to watch in Psychosis and myself. And he was around Rey's age, or maybe a year or two older. And Cardenal was too, but I never brought Cardenal to AAA. But they were like the forefathers of high flying wrestling in Tijuana.
All right, next from LT Green. This is a weird one. Somebody just Trunks. Greetings, fellas.
Trunks.
My question this week is about the historical context of main eventers and Trunks. Sure, you've had your HBKs, your Kurt Angles, your Eddie Guerreros, your Bretts, your Stings, etc. But the biggest names, even after the Bruno Sammartino era, the main event ranks wore Trunks. Steve Austin, The Rock, Flair, Hogan, Piper, and even Punk. All the biggest names wore Trunks. Is this some unspoken tenet in the pro wrestling business? I think I've read somewhere that Dusty may have said main eventers wear Trunks. Soon as Triple H got his push towards his first world title, he switched from tights to Trunks. Punk switched to Trunks as well. It seems that this may be changing in recent times now with Cena, Reigns, Rollins, etc. But what are your thoughts on this? Thanks as always, guys. Dude, do you just go to like watch independent wrestling and watch guys wrestle in gym shorts and stuff like that? Because like if you're on TV, we wore Trunks. Conan had kind of like Latino gangster gimmick. He wore jeans and stuff. And a couple of guys, but everybody wore Trunks. That's what you wear when you wrestle. It's like, what did this guy think? Like, is that like a weird thing or something? I don't know.
Raven didn't have Trunks, and he was a tremendous star. You know,
Always a different character.
I think in Trunks I felt more like a wrestler, and in tights like an entertainer, and singlets I felt like I wanted to wrestle. You know.
Right.
You know, at the end of his WWE run, Raven, he actually wrestled in Trunks for a few weeks because he was just trying to get Vince's attention or whatever. Thought, well, maybe if I change this, I'll get a push, but it didn't make any difference. They still released him.
All right. Brad Zawacki, we're going to direct your question to the sports segment because we're going to discuss that in detail. Again, even though we discussed at the beginning of the show, we're going to get more into it. Next is from King Weasel. The subject is matches of your career. Hey, K100 crew. My question is for Conan. Oh, excuse me. My question is for Conan, the Mighty Mighty Disco. Would you guys say individually be the greatest and worst matches of your respective careers, and why? Joey, I guess we can get your input too. What were your favorite Conan and Disco matches and why? And thank you for all the amazing content. Fabian Medina from Palm Bay, Florida. I'll tell. I don't remember specifically because it's very difficult for us to remember matches from start to finish. But you remember the real stinkers, and you remember like your best ones, right? I had a stinker with Beefcake. It was horrible. It was just he forgot everything. It was a stinker.
Yeah, Brutus was never
my
really
best
known for.
My best matches were against I won't even say like I have a standout best match. My best matches, based on what my skill set was and what I was trying to do in my career, was with like Conan, Alex, Eddie, Benoit, and Jericho. Like guys that kind of my size, and we had all of us had character and personality and stuff. And we did like those are my best matches, like against those guys, because we always got good reactions. We worked well together. What I did well worked well with the other guys. So is this that's what I would say. Well, how about you, Conan?
I would say worst match that I can think of off the top of my head. I'm sure there's more. Was for sure with Van Hammer, and for sure with one man
Yeah,
One-man gang.
Yeah.
who
My
did not
match with
like-
Van Hammer stunk too, but it wasn't as bad as the Beefcake match. So
Yeah, he did want to put me over. He was like, "Who's this guy?"
right.
And
How did he keep a job for so long? Was he was buddies with DDP, but was that like part of it?
no, because he was good for a big guy. I mean,
People
just
liked
he
him,
didn't
yeah.
know who I was. I was small,
Yeah.
and he was
Mhm.
like, "Who the guy that I'm losing to?" And he made it rough on me.
This was very, okay.
I don't complain.
Hammer was had
Hammer was
the
unskilled.
the least talented wrestler on the roster. Okay, he was big.
Right.
He was clumsy.
He was there because of his look.
Right. He was there because of his look. Right.
He wasn't a bad guy
And-
either, but he was he was not good in the ring.
Because he was a decent sized guy and everything, and thought he kind of had some
You got to
pull.
push.
He literally,
Yeah.
like, he lived. This was a funny story. This is a true story too. They wanted to call him, like, Russo came up with the Misfits in Action and everything, and they wanted to call him because he was a shoot, right? And he had no bones about it. He like, we wanted to call him. Vince wanted to call him Private Stash. Because that's like because that's that's like but he didn't want to be that low ranked on the military like journal. He wanted to be Major Stash because Private Stash in the military is like a very
He
low
would have been
rank.
the lowest ranked.
Like
Yeah.
literally that's why they called him Major Stash, because he complained about Private Stash, even though Private
He's
Stash
great.
was the gimmick. So,
At one time, remember,
Isn't it hysterical,
right before I got there, he got a huge push.
uh-huh.
I
Yeah,
think you
it
might
was like,
have been there.
Yeah, it's like weird.
Yeah, he got pushed as a heavy metal guitar player. Then he was in the Flock,
Right.
and then they tried him again as a hippie. He got a few
Right.
tries. Yeah.
Yeah, he was
What were your
brutal. Anyways,
What were your best matches, Conan?
best matches 100% Disco anywhere I went, and Eddie Guerrero, especially in Juarez. We tore that territory up, and I have films of those that I'm going to release one day that nobody has. And but for atmosphere, the greatest ever was I had gotten into a fight with Antonio Pena. I left AAA for 7 years, and when I came back, a lot of people said, "Bro, people forgot about you." And when my music hit, the place went nuts. And I actually felt, as weird as this sound, and I'm not into ghosts, demons, gods, or anything like that, but I felt like I was so euphoric that it actually felt like I was walking on air a few inches.
Really? Really?
While I was going around the
Were you
ring.
in Iran?
Was that?
Were you in Iran?
No, I was not in Iran,
Really?
but it was a very euphoric experience. Believe me,
I think
like
you
a
probably
huge adrenaline rush.
rolling. You're probably rolling.
Probably.
Well, my favorite
Probably had some gimmicks.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
my favorite
Raven
match.
against Punk.
From you guys, my favorite matches from you guys is Conan versus Eddie and versus Hoovy from some pay-per-views versus Jericho on Nitro, and then I don't remember specifically, but the stuff that you did with 3 Live Crew, like those tag matches were very good too. Disco, I've always said, even though it was probably only happened a handful of times, Disco and Saturn to me was still great if I watch it today. And then Disco and Kidman,
I could match with Saturn too.
Yeah,
because he had a very rugged. I sold offense really well, so he
Big
looked like
time.
he was beating me up. So
it looked like you were getting killed in Philly. And then Disco's when Disco was in the mix with AJ and Jarrett and Raven and stuff in TNA, that produced good matches.
Yeah, that was good stuff. Oh yeah, by the way, I'll throw my match against AJ in there too. Because definitely AJ. Next from King Weasel. Oh, hang on, I just read that one.
Matches with Public Enemy are not on my list, yeah.